Sir Francis Drake that pirate.
Really?
There's still Spanish historians that believe that's what he was. But no British historian, at least mainstream British historian, would say that he was a pirate. They would most likely say he was a hero or this. So that's what I'm saying. Even your perceptions are all determined by something else.
Yeah.
They're not determined by, like, in a way you have free will, you have the ability to, take that into account at least. But you can't hide from it. You can't get rid of it. It's always there.
Yeah, that's true.
So that's what I'm just saying. Like I say, it made me think with that. Say that we could be just taking control of something else, kind of thing. Mm-hmm. But then something extravagance takes control of the very thing we're taking control of. You know what I mean? So it's like work around. But God, that's deep.
No, I understand what you're saying. Yeah.
That just got really complicated. But yeah.
No, yeah. Some people don't want to go there because it all of a sudden, it's it's all this like Bill Hicks said, what about my family and my job and everything, it all becomes not as important in the bigger picture of things, but it kind of isn't. Obviously everyone's living in their own way and stuff, but I don't really know. I think we're probably part of a bigger wisdom than we'll ever be able to figure out. But I don't really know about it all. But I do. I think that whatever the truth is about that what we've been told by mainstream science, and this is the scientific doctrine. It's not that scientific, really. It's just what the top scientists say. Is that if you can't see it, it ain't real, and if it can't be measured in a lab, it must be rubbish. But then now, and this is something that I like to pay attention to. Just one of the few things I will read the science publications for online. I'm not going to buy them. I'm a cheapskate. But I'll always read them about quantum science. Where they do these weird things with atoms, and it kind of for example, they can if they cool atoms down close to absolute zero, they stop behaving like they normally do, where they normally sort of bounce off each other and stuff. But when they cool them down as close as they can get them to absolute zero, it's within like tenths of a degree and stuff, they actually don't bounce around as much, and they actually kind of lose their form and merge together and make like bigger atoms and stuff like this. And so it seems that and the atoms themselves, once you get far enough inside them, are empty, right? And yet we have this physically solid world, where you can't go through a wall. But why is that? It's because what's stopping you from going through the wall? Is it the empty atoms in the wall or the empty atoms in you? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's kind of like almost like a video game. That's what I came to the idea of. Anyway, I don't know, but which would actually raise some interesting questions about why are we here and all that rubbish. You know what I mean?
No, it's a complex thing. It really does make you think. But,
if you open your mind too much, your brain will fall out, though.
Exactly.
That's the classic.
Yeah. Well, I was going to say, I was reading this, that heathenist, that blasphemic, literally thing that is the sun.
Oh, yes.
Today. There was this article on this guy, how we have a 5-year mandatory prison sentence for possession of a firearm. Well, this guy, he handed in a sawn-off shotgun to the police. And they arrested him.
Oh, I've heard about that story. Yeah.
It's extraordinary. We have a mandatory sentence, a minimum sentence for something like possessing something. I mean, obviously, like, we have that for drugs and various other things, I think. Maybe something else. I can't really come up with another example, but, like, honestly, that has so many complications. You know, they should always look into things on an individual basis.
Yeah.
I mean, despite the fact that I'm against any infringement on the right to bear arms, that's just, you know, seems ludicrous to me. You put someone in prison for, you know, doing the very thing that they want that law to achieve. Really.
Oh yeah, it's outrageous. I know, but it's just more proof that you don't want to involve the police unless you absolutely have to, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Because they'll more likely arrest you. Oh dear.
Like I was saying, I mean, the Lib Dems have come up with this new, you know, one of their so-called kooky, you know, as Labour and Tories would say, you know, one of their crazy policies, which is to elect police chiefs and police commissioners. But I think that is a very good idea, you know. I like to have some sort of say on who becomes the police chief in my area, or the police superintendent or whatever. Because then at least we have some sort of, you know, they have to answer to the community they serve. And we don't have, you know, police commissioners being in the job for decades and, you know, doing the crap job. You know what I mean? At least we have some sort of control of that. And
well, it's all about democracy, Craig.
Well, then you look at that guy in Arizona, that fucking crazy, you know.
Yeah, what do you think? What do you think about that in Arizona? Are you talking about the immigration law?
No, I'm talking like that guy is done. That, I mean, I know he did that. Yeah, was it that is it mandatory arrests for?
Checks? No, sorry, I know what you're talking about now. Sorry, no, you're talking about that guy in Arizona who's like hardline, aren't you? The police chief.
Yeah. He makes prisoners dress up in pink, just because.
Sorry, I understand that.
I mean, like some of these things, you know, he rides around in a armored personnel carrier with a 50 cal.
Really? Oh, I didn't know that.
He said, any bank robbers come to Arizona, you know, this is what you're going to get. And then, and in a way, he's tough on crime and all that, you know, I suppose that's
He's tough on crime, tough on the causes of crime, Craig.
Yeah, or his perception of what is the causes of crime. You know?
Which is, illegals and not enough heavily armed police.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, God. Well, like I was saying, I heard about that law in Arizona, where, or something, it's like a Nazi-ish kind of law where they say, you know, if you are Hispanic descent, you know, your papers, please. This kind of thing.
Exactly.
You know, it's just I don't know how that could pass, but.
Yeah. Well, on one level, I kind of sympathise with the people who support it, because a lot of people do support it, especially the conservatives over there in America, because they do have immigration problems. But, I mean, call me crazy, but isn't the problem at the border, you know?
Oh, yeah.
Like,
they're Minutemen. The Minutemen.
I mean, I don't totally support the Minutemen, but I understand why they do what they do, you know what I mean? And, well, fair enough, it's their right. I do think it's their right to...
I would stop them, yeah, exactly. I would just, you know, accept that that's how some people feel and they're exercising their rights to do something about it.
Yeah.
But obviously I wouldn't advocate shooting indiscriminate Mexican people who are trying, you know.
No.
Got to understand why, what are the drivers for these people wanting to come to America. And it's extreme poverty. And also violence, which is fueled by, you know, I mean, I'm not one to jump on the media bandwagon, but I do think Mexico has got a huge problem with narcotics.
Yeah.
I mean, you could stand on the Mexican border and just watch the mayhem.